Welcome to writingalong.com. Today's episode is all about how you've been lied to about voice. What is voice as a writer? It's really the internal script, this dialogue within you that you're bringing to life, that you're giving a place. It's like holding up a tape recorder to someone talking, and you're saying, "This is who I am. This is the way I talk. This is who I am in terms of communication." It's not even always about what you're saying. It's just about the way you say it, where you're coming from. This aspect of where you're coming from is huge. And as a writer, some people think that voice is something you have to kind of just imitate. You think that you like the voice of a certain writer, you like the way that they come across, and you think you have to steal it. It feels like that because you're like, wow, I like this. This is how I want to be a writer then. This is how I want to write. So if I want to accomplish this too, I'm going to have to take that voice and make it my own. But really, it's not something you got to spend ages doing. It's really not. You're not holding a tape recorder up to someone else, especially if this writer, you don't know them, they're dead. You don't, it's a little far-fetched, exactly, to be tuning into something. What's unique about a voice? It's these nuanced, it's always defined by these small, infinitesimally small details that, when combined together, add up into something unique. And that's where I'm saying your voice is kind of, the character of it is invisible. It can't really be fully defined. It's divine. That's a Freudian slip, right? It can't really be defined, but you know it. It's palpable. It's perceptible. You can notice it. You can react to it. People react to it. So your voice as a writer, ignore the lies. These ones you tell yourself as part of the series in 100 Days of Writing. You've been lied to about this. You've been lied to about that. The ones about voice, you sometimes really just tell yourself, because that's the next logical step. I want to write like this person. Well, I want to just copy their voice. That's what is going to be best for me. That's what I'm going to have to do. But you got to realize, if you admire a writer and you really want to write like them, you might actually like them because your voice is similar to them. And actually, writing like them won't really be a task of acquisition. Voice, you don't acquire your voice. That tape recorder thing I'm talking about, you put it to your own mind and you hear what it's saying. Not necessarily what you're speaking outwardly in terms of what people hear. I'm speaking to you. If you want to pause this, you can speak. You might have a conversation with someone today. It's not that kind of thing, because the mental process of putting words, into your actual muscle contractions in your body that produce sounds from your vocal cords, that whole process, neurologically, it's a little different from putting them to words. Often, when you're talking, when you're just going off, are you seeing every single word? Are you spelling it out? The sounds, are you seeing them written in your language, in your brain, every single part of your day? You might. If you'd see that, wow. Then awesome. I'm sure this might come a lot easier to you. And the connection between what you speak and what you write is even closer. Great. Keep that in mind. Skip some of these things I'm mentioning. The writing may even come easier to you. But I have a feeling for most people, not every single sentence, it's different. When you're writing something down, it feels different. It's why you may feel like I can have a conversation with somebody. Not everybody. Maybe I'm not comfortable talking to everybody. I'm pretty to myself. But if the context is right, yeah, I can talk to somebody about something I'm interested in. But I can tell someone a story, and it may not come out the way I always wanted to. But this happened, and I was there, and this person was there, and the funny thing is that I love. But when it comes to writing, it's weird, because it's just like, it doesn't sound like you. It doesn't sound like me when I'm writing things down. And that's where I want you to create that distinction and just be aware of it, because it does exist. There's a different context. When you're writing a book, when you're talking to people, you're not writing a book in your head. You're just little excerpts, little blips here, little this here, little explosions, little thought bubbles intermittently. And they just express themselves. They imagine something right here, just pop it out. Cool, nice thought, a conversation I had with somebody. This is me talking to you, all that stuff. But writing is it's collecting everything. It's bringing all of the stuff together into one kind of narrative. You can be writing a fiction book, a non-fiction book, but the process of bringing words, it's like you're pinning them onto your thoughts, and then you're pinning all of that together. You're collecting. It's like a scrapbook of imagery, because your writing, again, brings mental images. Especially if you're telling a story. I mean, I'm always talking about, storytelling. Write the story you're born to tell, because there is one that you were born to tell that no one else can tell, and you want to bring images to life. If you're doing that, feelings too, they come next. You don't tell your reader, feel this, feel sad, but the story that you're telling will bring that to them. It's like you're looking through an art gallery, and you're seeing all these things, and some art you like, some art you don't. You're like, what the hell is this? This is really. But someone's having a reaction to it, and there might be things that you've seen, photographs that you've seen that bring that kind of transformation to you. If you saw a photograph right now of, I don't know, a third world country, or first world country, where are you from? Where are you living in right now? Imagine something that's in stark contrast to where you are right now. And if you saw that and it portrayed a harsh reality or a luxurious experience that is so foreign to you, it might as well not even exist. You're being exposed to something different, and it causes a chain reaction within you. And with your words, you're doing that, but you're doing that long form. It's like a larger, amplifying, multiplying that effect that just a photo can do. People say a picture is worth 1,000 words. I think a single word is a well-written sentence is worth 1,000 pictures. It's worth more than that. It's burn the pictures. They don't matter anymore. No offense to photography. I love photography, but when you write and you're able to bring images to people's minds, erase the idea of anything else. You're going directly. You're skipping their eyes. You're skipping their ears. I guess it's technically going through their eyes, right? Because they're reading the book. But I mean, if you're doing Braille, if they speak your language, the words are already there. There's already a collection. There's like a kitback of words that they apply things to, and it's like you're meeting them. You're having that conversation within their mind, and it's like getting so close to the reader. That's why you may be deeply impacted by a book. And again, it's all carried through a voice. All right, if you heard someone reading a children's story, and picture someone, like, who do you picture reading a children's story? The audiobook might sound very, communicative, very friendly, very open, very maybe kind of bubbly and just fun. And now picture this like gravelly voice, like this intense contrast. I don't know. Think of someone who can narrate it. Someone absurd that if you saw them, like if you can imagine them reading a children's book, you'd laugh. Like, what? And you'll see right there the clear importance of voice and who's telling what. Yeah, anybody could technically say something, but the way you're saying it matters. And the way you're going to say things, the way you're going to communicate things, it's not just about the story. It is about you being the one telling it, which is why I'm saying you don't have to worry about people stealing your ideas as a writer, because there is only one person, one voice that can say it the way you can. And that's why your uniqueness as a writer and through voice is something that you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to pick up scraps and, again, scrap it together. Just be like, oh, this is my voice, and I hope no one copies it. I hope it doesn't exist already. Someone may have a similar voice, a very similar voice, externally, superficially, but it's those little details, it's the little, if we're talking about vocal cords, right, the little tiniest centimeter or millimeter maybe of a difference that changes it. It may be the slightest bit of accent, cultural, contextual, wherever you're from, that it changes. A little tiny note, and a note, if you want to connect all your senses. And connecting all our senses is a lot of fun with this kind of stuff, because we're feeling, right? Writing is feeling things. We're not just AI generating all this stuff. So it's like a note in an aroma. It's unique. It resembles something, but it reminds you of home. It reminds you of your favorite meal. It reminds you of your favorite person, that kind of stuff. That's what you want your writing. That's what you're going to be stamping it with. That's what's going to make your writing yours, your own voice. So, again, you've been lied to about a voice by yourself. If you think you have to copy it from somewhere or someone, if you think you got to lift it and it's just a facade that you got to put on, and it's really not. It's just something that is already inherent in you, within you. And when you write, the second you stop obsessing over it, is the second you'll see it come naturally to you. It really does. It's not just hopeful. Hey, good luck, buddy. Go off on the page and you'll figure it out. Off you go. It's not like that. I'm telling you, don't obsess over your voice as a writer. And little by little, you'll realize it was there the whole time. It was when you were actually suppressing it without realizing it. And I got to make this a point too, because I have a video on you can't practice writing. If I could re-record that, I would, but it's out there. It's related to this. You're not going to practice your own voice. You're just going to recognize it. And why is it not practicing? Because it's not for anything competitive. You're not putting yourself up against something. In practice inherently is not something you always record, but writing it's recorded. It's always your voice. It's talking to something. It always has an inherent value in it. And the value of it is in how authentic it is and how true it is to what you're saying, to what you're feeling. Check out How to Write a Book in 30 Days. It's a 10-part guide I have on my website on writingalong.com. Everything you need to get started. Let it sit in your inbox. Let it haunt your inbox just to remind you to write a book. Because this life we have, this time we have, say something. Say what you have to say. And get it out there into the world. Nothing is standing in your way as a writer. And don't ever get discouraged or think you can't do it. A lot of writing is just overcoming these lies that we've been told or that we've told ourselves.